guys, so what I'll get you to do, if you can pull your textbook out and follow along with the summary notes. Guys, did you grab your stuff at the back there? Yeah, yep. Chapter 8 summary. Now what I would like to do first is just talk to it and then talk about revision techniques, and then I'll consult you guys whether you want to sort of go through these together or if you want to have a go at them yourself. But we'll do that at the end. To begin with, let's just talk about the test content, and we'll flick through it. So we've been working on this unit this whole term, right? Remember, we squeezed the integration. It was a short, sharp unit. We sort of wanted to get it done before retreat so that we could come back fresh and focus on differential equations. And just as well, because we've spent a fair while just slowly progressing through it. So it's a big unit. So let's start at the start. What did we start with? We started with implicit differentiation. So in the past, right, we've differentiated d on dx, right? Okay, so we're differentiating with regards to x, but we were looking at differentiating what we call relations. All right, so some composite of multiple variables rather than it just being y equal to x. In 8b, we look at related rates. So we figured out we can have these variables that are connected to one another and we can differentiate them both, or all three of them, with regards to time. And that's that big fat exercise. Most of us have a few questions to go on that still. And you'll find some exam questions of that style as well. All right, so that's an important exercise. Then in 8c, d, and e, they're all sort of the same thing. All right. In 8c, they introduce differential equations to you. What is a differential equation? Okay, it's like this: dy and dx is equal to some function. That's a differential equation. It's the derivative function, and then we're moving from the derivative function back to the original function. Firstly, just by integrating. In 8c and 8d, that's all you're doing, integrate. Then in 8e, they give you these kinds of things where we need to separate. We need to separate them into their appropriate parts and then integrate both sides. In 8f, we have slope fields, which is the lines, the tangents drawn on the page, and us drawing a particular solution through the slope field. 8g and h, we look at problem solving. So problem solving is sort of a collection of the previous skills, but given practical applications. And then 8h, we look at the logistic functions, and in particular, logistic growth. All right, they're those really long algebraic questions, lots of exam questions around that as well. Then we get into I and J, where we look at equations of motion. The difference here from kinematics is that we have it, rather than in terms of t, some variable time, we have velocity in terms of x, where x is displacement. And the same with acceleration. And then simple harmonic motion, we're talking about something oscillating to and fro, bouncing up and down, and modelling that there with those trig functions. So that's chapter 8, and then into chapter 9. Chapter 9 is called vector calculus. We start with parametric equations. So that was a summary of the stuff we've done in vectors, a bit of a recap. Here in 9b, we look at uniformly varying quantities, and then non-uniform, so straight lines and curves. 9d, we look at Bayesian curves. All right. So you don't often see them pop up in exams, but it's part of the course, so we've done it. Trigonometric parameterization in 9e, and then 9f, arc lengths of a parametric curve. So 9 is pretty fresh in our head, so that's why I've sort of dedicated a bit more of a summary to chapter 8 on the sheet. As far as revision goes, I've given you the 19, 20, 21 tests. All right, so you can have a work through those. Solutions are on the Google Drive. There's tests for 2017 and 2018. I'll print those for you if you want them. Now the exam question book. All right, so that's a fat book, and obviously I don't expect you to work through all of it. There's lots of questions in there. The reason I've written question 6 up there is because if you have a read of it, so what I do when I do this, like I'm going through all the old exam PDFs and I'm pulling out all the ones that are relevant to this unit. And if you have a look at question 6, I just made a mistake and I combined 2 questions that don't actually belong together. So I was trying to do it and I was sort of scratching my head like, what's the link here between the first page about the path of the flight and then part B there? There's no connection whatsoever. So question 6, you can just completely disregard that one, put a big X through it, so that you don't do question 6 of the exam question booklet. All right. Review sets obviously are a good way to summarise each chapter. And then if you want anything else, okay, there's stuff from other schools, there's stuff from other states, I've got heaps of gear, alright, let me know. So that's a good summary. Haven't written the test yet, plan on writing it sort of tonight, this weekend, maybe on the retreat day tomorrow. So yeah, that's a good summary. Alright, so yeah, let's stop that there.